on this snowy night to show your support for me. So from that snowy day when I walked into George's office to this, it has been many years, and I can't believe that it has been 10 years and I've survived as Member of Parliament. So 10 years since we gathered and watched the election results coming in, watching a red wave rolled across Canada as Canadians from across our great country choose a hopeful future. A future that said we can build a better Canada for our next generations. A Canada where diversity isn't our weakness, but it is our strength. A Canada where if you work hard, you can make a good living to support your family. A Canada where a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. I am so humbled by the trust you placed in me, a public servant and a community organ. Spoke about the middle class. You have been with me as I raised the voices of those working hard to join the middle class. The men working 2 jobs to support his family that just can't see to get ahead. The mother who stretches every paycheck to keep healthy food on the table and find a way to keep their kids in after-school activities. Who has to leave her job to care for the children because they can't afford daycare. The young couple wondering if they will ever be able to leave their parents' home and afford a place of their own. The senior seeing their pension pay are over. Canadians elected Mark Carney because he is the only leader we trust to walk into White House, stand up to President Trump, stand up for Canadians, look him in the eyes and say with resolve, we will never be your 51st states, never 51.
In fairness to myself, I have given both my EA, Selma's oldest son, vacation time, and her backup, that is usually my speechwriter, is Jeff Jadris, who's also on vacation at this time. So it does leave me with few words. But the words that I will share is that one of the things that defines Selma is her willingness to help others. And not only, of course, as she encouraged me to step into the role of being an elected official, but I've actually gone door to door with her to encourage others to do that same thing, and walked beside her as she walked beside many other of her now colleagues in the last election across many other places. She's done that provincially, she's done that federally, and she's done that for candidates she believes in municipalities. And that is the true testament to somebody who wants to see change in their communities, is when they're willing to get out.
Located outside of our riding boundaries, and yet their presence is felt still immensely within our riding. So thank you for all the work that you do.
I am not good evening, everyone. I should not forget that. My name is Mary Ann San Juan. As what was mentioned, I am the second president of the Filipino Center Toronto, which is out of Salma's riding at 4395 Shepherd Avenue East. I actually did not expect a crowd like
Thank you, Tahir. Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand here tonight in support of my dear friend, a mentor, a sister, MP Salma Zahid. I had the privilege of working alongside Salma at Queen's Park, and during that time, I witnessed firsthand her dedication, her resilience, and her unwavering commitment to serving people. Salma started her life here from scratch. She built everything through hard work, perseverance, and faith in the values of community and justice. What inspires me most is not just her professional achievements, but the way she carries herself, with humility, compassion, and strength. She has always been a guiding light for me, encouraging me to stay grounded in service and reminding me that politics is about people, not about power. Tonight, as we gather to support her, we are not just supporting a member of parliament. We are supporting a woman who embodies the very best of Canada. Salma Zahid is proof that when you work hard, stay true to your values, and never give up, you can make a difference for countless families. So let us stand with her as she has always stood with us. Thank you, Salma. Thank you so much.
Celebrate with warmth and with our God-given right to express ourselves and have assumptions. I'd like you to remember there are 2 million Gazans who are tonight hungry, who are tonight denied their right to self-determination, who live in fear, and the Lebanese, and the West Bankers, and the millions of Yemenis who are tonight facing uncertainty. While the people of conscience have come to the aid of the Palestinians, the people went to the streets, 4 million were in Sydney.
Then I'm honored to be part of this special celebration. This evening is special because we are celebrating a remarkable woman who served the community with love, care, kindness, compassion, empathy, and dedication. Today I'm not only here celebrating her achievement as MP, but more so celebrating her and the values she stands for.
Federation of Filipino Canadians, Ontario, a liberal and a long-time friend of Salma Zahid. Salma Zahid is a member of Parliament for Scarborough Centre, Don Valley East. Salma's connection with the Filipino community was rocky at the beginning because she won the nomination against a Filipino, Rafael Fabregas. Remember that?
I've actually known her for 6 years, actually. I think we're going to need to update that introduction. So my name is Salma Zahid, and for the past 6 years, I've had the privilege of owning Creme Miel, a local cafe right here in Scarborough, just on Lawrence and Warden. And what started as a small business has grown into a gathering place for neighbors, for conversations, and community. And over those years,
we already heard the reference to food, and I think that there's an important insight in there. And the insight, I hope, is something that Salma brought from my work in politics in downtown Toronto, and that is, you never run out of food. And frequently, we would have people, if I remember well, we would have big events. Salma would organize events, 500 or 600 kids for book giveaways and all of that. And frequently when we had food, mothers would come in and maybe stuff some of the food in their baby carriage or in the stroller. And some people would start to get angry. And I just said, order more food. Because if a person's taking food and putting it in their stroller, there's a really strong chance that that family actually needs that food. Family. The reason that you get all of the volunteers is because Salma understands better than most that politics and a party is really an extension of family. Now, speaking of family, Salma could not be better served and supported by her own family. Salman and Usman and Umaid have been constant sources of support for her, and they've taken to politics so much that some of them are even making their living in that area. But the thing of it is that the family of politics is reflected by all of you that are here. And I just want to say, I had the greatest privilege in life. I remember it quite well. It was a snowy day, a very snowy day, and Salma came to my office, which was then at 410 Sherburne Street, pushing a stroller. And in that stroller, there was 2 little kids. They weren't very old at all. And she was there to do what? She was there to advocate in favor of full-day kindergarten for little kids in Regent Park. And it wasn't very long after when I said, like, you should be over here helping us out. You have a natural skill for advocacy, not to mention that Salma is extraordinarily well educated from the University of Edinburgh, I think it is. Scotland anyway, you tell me if I'm wrong, but the thing about it is that it's been such a great pleasure in my life to have an opportunity for someone to work with me and to leverage some of that experience and to have all of this great success. And it's not success for the sake of success. It's not the success for the sake of one more election. It's success that ensures that in the House of Commons, this area is represented by somebody who won't back down, is represented by somebody who will speak up. It's not always the case in politics that even in your own party, people want to hear from you on all subjects. I know because I used to be called outspoken. But what I really noticed about Salma is that she's strongly determined and she's deeply principled and she applies these things very effectively as a member of Parliament. So it's my pleasure today to be here with all of you celebrating 10 years in the House of Commons and more than 20 years in the active life of politics in Canada. And Salma, from my heart, my love to you and all of the best for the future. Thank you very much.
Outside, but it is so warm inside. And it's not because of the heating and ventilation. It's because of all of the love that we have for an incredible Member of Parliament for Scarborough Centre, Don Valley East. That Member of Parliament being, of course, the one and the only Salma Zahid. Can you imagine 20 years of political service? 10 years serving as Member of Parliament. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens when there is an individual who is guided by conviction, compassion, a desire for service to improve the world around her. But it also happens when there is a community that believes in her. And that is the reason she has been able to come and serve in 4 separate terms over the last 10 years. Now, I have known about Salma for a long time. Her reputation, of course, has preceded her. But it was only when federally the boundaries got redistributed and her riding began to overlap mine, because provincially I represent Don Valley East and she now represents about 1/3 of that. Boy, did I realize what I've been missing out on. Of course, I've come to know many politicians in my time. But I have to say, I have not met someone who is so deeply devoted to her community, so deeply integrated in her community. The fact that every single event I'm at, she's at. But I have an advantage, because when I go to work, I drive about 25 minutes downtown to Toronto. She's at all of the same events, but her commute starts in Ottawa. And that blows me away. And so she cannot do her work without her incredible family. But she also cannot do it without every single one of you. You're here to show your support today. But of course, you've been showing your support for so many years. And so today, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you for giving Salma this opportunity, whether you made this possible for her through your wallet or checkbook, or you've been a volunteer. She couldn't do the incredible work that she does, and which I have the privilege of doing together with her, without you. But most importantly, I
have my notes just in case I speak extemporaneously. As a preacher, we're used on a Sunday morning to speak off the cuff. And so we never know what we'll say next. But I want to say the right things, the correct things, and the most politically correct. I can't do like George. He's been around for quite a while. But we thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pastor McGann, Middle East Apostolic Church. My wife and I are delighted to be here tonight to celebrate with you, Zalma, on your 10th anniversary of winning the Scarborough Centre riding for the Liberal Party of Canada.
We always had a great office atmosphere with a great space. Our volunteers, can you imagine the first one? They used to play cricket in our office. There was such a huge office there. They used to play cricket. Now those volunteers, those who used to come in the shorts, they're grown up now. Some of them are married now. And am I getting old or they're getting big? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old now. You are. Come on, George. No, not yet. Not yet. No. See, volunteers, they work very hard. We have to respect them. Salma is one person who looks after not just them, but everybody in the campaign. She keeps an eye on everything, that they are fed very much and they are taken care of very good. That is one quality in her. Nothing moves without the funding. That's where it comes. You guys come in there. Without every single one of you, nothing would have been possible. No campaign would have been run. No election would have been won had you guys not been supporting Salma from the day one. That is why you guys played a significant role. From that day one till today. And hope so, continue that. Our riding, Scarborough Centre, was Namaste, Satrikal, Wanakam, Mabuhai. Welcome everybody. My name is Ashwani Bhardwaj. I'm the current president of the Riding Association for the Scarborough Centre, which became now Scarborough Centre, Don Valley East. Scarborough Centre has always ruled Scarborough as the center of the universe because we have a very, very hard-working member party.
Cut! Don't make the mistake of underestimating me. I know things I don't talk about, think about things I don't say, and see things you'd never guess. I might be quiet, but I'm always paying attention.